Hey, welcome back, guys. So today on this video, we are talking about deposit slips, and more specifically, I'm going to try to answer a question that I've been getting a lot on my other video, and that is, how do you fill out a bank deposit slip? So let's go ahead and talk about this. First off, guys, gonna be a really quick video. There's actually not too many steps involved, so be sure to stick around to the end of the video. But why would you need to fill out a bank deposit slip? Well, that's pretty easy. Generally, when you are depositing your tax refund or your paycheck, you can't just give them the check at the bank. A lot of times they want what's called a deposit form, and this just lists out all the funds that you're going to be depositing into your bank account. One thing I want to note is this is a Chase bank deposit slip. Your bank deposit slip is going to be obviously a little bit different in the layout, but most of the information is going to be generally the same. Be sure to check my video description. I'm going to try to leave all the written instructions there as well, but let's go ahead and get started. First off, on the bank deposit slip, you need to list what type of account you're going to be depositing into. So here they have listed checking, saving, and then something else called Chase Liquid. That's going to be bank specific, but usually it's either going to be checking or savings. You should know what type of account that you have. So for me, I would mark checking here at the top right. Next, you want to put in the date that you're making the deposit. So that would be today's date or whatever date that you are going into the bank. Next, you want to put your customer name. So this is generally going to be your name, your full name that the bank has on file for you. So usually your first, middle, and last name. If you're making a deposit for your business, then you'll want to put your business name there if your business name is what's on the header for your bank account. This next section is where a lot of people get mixed up on, so we'll go ahead and go over this. The first line right here, it says cash. So if you are depositing cash, so if your grandma Susie gave you $100 in green cash, that's fiat money, then you want to go ahead and just put in 100. This point here is for any kind of change, so like 50 cents or 25 cents. And then usually on any other box, I'll go ahead and just cross it out. And that way it doesn't accidentally get another number written in there by someone else. So again, you want to list all the cash that you are going to be depositing on this line. That is going to be separate than any paper checks that you receive. So for example, if you are depositing your paycheck, then you'll want to go ahead and list in here how much your paycheck is worth. And same thing after the point, go ahead and put the cents. So if it's like 33 cents, put that here, and then the dollar amount here. The boxes kind of run together, but they do split it up on the thousands and millions here by putting an extra little color right here. Okay, there, I darkened it up a little bit, but you can see there's a little triangle right here, and that's what separates the thousands from the hundreds. And then same thing here, there's a little triangle there. It separates the thousands from the millions. So go ahead and just list your check right there. Now, what if you have more than one check that you're going to be depositing? Well, what you're going to want to do is if you have, let's say, 3 checks that you're going to be depositing, you're going to want to go ahead and just cross out this check line right here. Don't put anything there. And you're going to use this line right here called total from other side. So this is if you're a business or you have 3 or 4 different checks that you're going to be depositing. What you're going to want to do is flip over the deposit slip. Let me show you what the back of the deposit slip looks like. Okay, so here is what the back of a deposit slip looks like. So first, what you're going to do is basically the same thing. Here on the checks portion, you're going to want to put the check number. So whatever check you're depositing, usually it's going to have a number. It's usually going to be 4 digits. Write that here. And then you want to go ahead and disclose how much that particular check is worth. So if it's worth $2, go ahead and just put a 2, and then after the point, 00. And then next you want to list the next check. So let's say check number 342 from your uncle. Go ahead and list that there, and then how much that check is going to be worth. So let's say it's worth $1,200. You're just going to put 1200 and then 0.00. And once you've listed all the checks here, all the blank spaces, go ahead and just put a line through it, maybe cross it like that. And then you'll want to go ahead and add up the value from all of 3 of these checks. So if one was $2, the other one was $1,000, and the other one was, let's say, $5, then that would total out to $1,007 between those 3 checks. Now remember that number because we're going to switch back over to the front of the bank deposit slip. Okay, so here is the front of the bank deposit slip once again. So as you can see, total from other side, you're going to want to list that here. So again, we had 1,000, so we're going to put 1,00700 for total from other side. And that's going to list off all of the checks that we're depositing and listed on the back side of our bank deposit slip. Next line is going to be the subtotal. So the subtotal is going to be the total from all the green cash that you're depositing. And if it's one miscellaneous check right here, and then total from the other side right here, you're going to want to go ahead and add all 3 of those together, and that will be your subtotal. The reason they call it subtotal is because sometimes you are depositing a check, but you're going to receive cash back. If you would like to have cash back at the counter, you want to let them know how much of that check you would like to receive back. So for example, if one check was worth $1,000, but you need $200 cash back immediately, you want to go ahead and write $200 here, 200. Once you've written that in, the cash back, then you want to go ahead and subtract the cash back from the subtotal, and that will be the total that you are depositing into your bank account. So for example, we had $1,207 on the subtotal, and then we're going to put $200 cash back in our pocket immediately. That that means that $1,007 will go into our total deposited into our checking account. So I know this part's kind of complicated, especially if you have more than one check. One thing I want to make sure that's really important is if there's any blank spots on there that you're not going to be using, for example, if you're not depositing cash, just put a line through it. And then same thing, if you don't have any total from the other side because you're only depositing one check, put a line through there as well. And the next section here is going to be your account number. So this is going to be your checking or your savings account number with that particular bank. Sometimes it doesn't fill up all the way. So for example, here, looks like there's 13 digits. If you have an older bank account, a lot of times it's only going to be 4 or 5 digits. Go ahead and just write in the digits there. And then same thing, if there's any blank spots, just put a line through it. Now, this signature line right here is also important. If you are going to be receiving cash back from one of the checks that you're depositing, you do need to sign here. A lot of times if you are not receiving cash back, you don't need to sign, but it's not really going to hurt. So go ahead and just sign here next to the X. Also, some things I have seen on other bank deposit slips. So for example, Bank of America, I have seen that they have 50 separate boxes where you need to check which state your bank account was opened in. So for example, if you live in California, but you actually opened your bank in New York, you're going to want to go ahead and check New York because that's where the account originated in. And that's pretty much it. So if you're wondering how to fill out a bank deposit slip, that's the best way that I know. If your bank deposit requires some other form of information than what we went over here, be sure to leave a comment below, let the rest of us know. Hopefully you found that video useful. If so, click thumbs up or maybe consider subscribing to my channel, and I hope to see you on the next video. Thanks again for watching.